So as two Americans here, let's say we want to go to Europe. What's the first place we should go? Like, what's your recommendation?
Berlin!
Why?
Sure.
Why?
It's the tango capital in Europe, I'm telling
Really?
you.
Is it?
Yeah.
Funny story. But I remember when we first met, and then after you got to know me, you told me that you thought I was so unfriendly, in the very beginning, and you're like, oh my God, you're like this, you're like this super nice guy who's like always going out trying to save people.
Oh, thank you. He speaks the collar. Oh my God, take notes, man. Did a whole video where my collar was messed up, and these guys was looking at me the whole time. Didn't say anything. But all right, we are back with another video, and we have Paulina again with us. Thank you so much for being with us. And so we wanted to talk about, we wanted to use this video to talk about using tango to travel and visit other places, either in your own country or around the world. Paulina and myself are more of the traveling type, and Robert's kind of more of the home base, kind of travels within the own state. When you're deciding on where to go, Paulina, do you have any like preferences, or how do you decide like one over the other?
I think I'm thinking about sightseeing options as well next to tango, and if there is tango almost every night for me, and if I've heard any recommendations before from other people, like I would rather ask followers. It's sometimes also at the marathon I'm meeting people from all around the world, but usually Europe, and I'm asking, okay, how is dancing here and there? So I'm asking, how is Rome, how is Greece?
So word of mouth, so pretty much word of mouth from friends that you know?
Yes.
I see. And is it mostly like, I don't know, is it mostly men, women, it just doesn't matter, or close friends? Or
yeah,
is it
I'm
some
asking
respected dancers that you like to, like you travel because a good dancer that you like is going to a place?
No, that would not be the case. I think the amount of milongas is already something that would attract me, like
Interesting, like
to
locally.
visit the place. Yeah.
Interesting. That's interesting, because I usually just travel for like a marathon or festival. You travel more for the longer duration.
Yes.
It seems.
That's what I did last year. Visited multiple destinations. So I was 3 weeks in California. Here visited like San Francisco, Bay Area, also Los Angeles, and New York was also like 2 weeks trip. Istanbul, Barcelona, that were all longer stays, not event focused, but local dancing only.
Interesting. I think for most US dancers, we travel within the country and we only spend like a weekend out of like, because it's like a marathon or a festival. And so people travel and fly in on a Friday night and then leave like a Sunday night or a Monday morning. It's kind of the common thing, because we don't really get a lot of days off, mostly in America, comparatively, unfortunately.
There's a few digital nomads out there who, they're software engineers, or they work mostly online. So maybe that's just the ticket. Like you are a software engineer, you're a digital nomad, and then you could just travel the world and live wherever you want
until the AIs take over.
AI.
I'm just kidding. But it's funny that you mentioned like because I never think about like the sightseeing. Like when I travel, I just strictly think of like the tango. Is there going to be good dancers going? Is there going to be good DJs? Like, is there going to be good like maestros or teaching? And so that's funny how like the first thing you mentioned was like the sightseeing.
Yeah, because during the day I want to do sightseeing, and milongas would be usually nights only, except maybe for the weekends. So yeah, this is how I'm planning the stays.
Do you think most people is that more of like a European thing? Like most people in Europe do that?
No, I don't think so. I was in a luxury last year that I just traveled all around the world and did not work at all. So that was, I think a privilege to do so many trips in so many different countries. But now as I'm back to work, I would also do rather marathons and festivals, so weekend trips, so like Thursday till Monday.
Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer marathon or festival?
Marathons.
Or actually, do you prefer marathons, festivals, or local milongas? Like if you could do a whole bunch of local milongas over the
Oh,
weekend.
like if you travel out, you visit a country and you just want to just go to the local scene.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so different. As I'm saying, that would involve sightseeing and a longer stay. But if I'm there for 3-4 nights of dancing, the marathon is my choice.
Why?
As a follower, the world balance is important for me, and usually the marathons are world balance, but it's not always the case. Nevertheless, it's rather the rule for marathons to keep the world balance.
What's your take? Because I heard in Europe there's like a lot of like these invite-only marathons, kind of word of mouth, not really broadcasted out and advertised. Like, are you in that? Because I heard there's like a circuit, like different types of circuits in Europe.
I mean, we'd rather have encuentros working that way. If marathons are also organized, then I'm not invited to those.
Actually, here's a question. Like, in encuentros in Europe, okay, so encuentros in America, they have a certain meaning. I'm just wondering if it's the same for encuentros in Europe.
But I heard the Europe scene is more younger on a like overall scale. Like many people tell me like the Europe scene's really blossoming with the younger demographic. Do you find that is true?
I mean, I'm having good time in LA. I'm having good time in New York. So I would not say it's any how different demographic wise from Europe. So no, the crowd is mixed wherever I go.
Interesting.
So yeah, but encuentros rather, what do you say? It's like 55 plus crowd. And this is what I've heard also from some people. They would rather go to marathons because it's like not only the small steps, more also place to dance, like space.
Yeah. So you're here, like on your current visit, you're here doing a house swap. Can you like explain what that is? And also, is there a site for people to talk about house swapping, or was it just that you met this person at a marathon and then proposed this? But is there like a forum for Tango house swap, Tango house? Like is there a place where people would go and kind of say, hey, I want to go to
Spain.
Yeah, like is there anyone in Spain who wants to live in LA for like 3 weeks, or how did you go about this?
And there's the Facebook group Tango hosting. You can try posting your request there with like idea what you'd like to go. But the home swap was like an accident, I would say. Person I met last year in New York City, like I just saw her story of dancing. That's a lady dancing with the leader I know, and from a few sentences we said, oh, how about swapping the houses, because I've heard Berlin is also good, and for tango, and 3 days later we have our flights booked.
So it was a friend of a friend?
No. Like I met her in person
okay.
the year ago, and
Yeah, I think I would only be comfortable with somebody I know or somebody that I really trust and they know that person. I don't think I could do like random stranger.
I'm not like couch surfing.
Yeah. I'm not sure. You trust them with your whole house, and I don't know. That's kind of.
But I hosted multiple people in my Berlin apartment whenever I'm traveling for events, and soon another opportunity happens that someone, I think because of this tango hosting group, wrote to me, and I'm offering my flat as I'm going elsewhere.
Oh, so here's an interesting topic, and this is something I'm interested in, is when you decide to, let's say, get a room for a marathon, like while you're traveling, you're gonna get a room. How do you choose your roommates? Like, I mean, is there like good things you look for your roommates? Like, let's say you don't know the person, you want to go to this marathon. Like, is it just plain luck that you hope you get a good roommate, or is there?
Yes, but first I really look for friends going there, and then I would ask friends of the friends if any leaders know any follower, and if with that I do not succeed, then maybe posting in the event group or event page on Facebook.
What was your first place that you visited, like as the first tango place that you traveled to? And went to a festival or a marathon?
So there were some local events in Poland. So Poznań in Poland is pretty easy to get from Berlin, but the proper bigger trip was to Milano, to Italy.
I've heard really good things about Italy. Actually.
Yes. I can confirm. I mean, tango. I only danced in Milano, but yeah, I've heard followers are coming back there more often.
It's the follower destination.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Italy's known to be like Istanbul, Italy.
Istanbul.
Well, I heard Istanbul to be a follow destination. But I always heard Italy and Russia to be a leads destination.
Well, Russia, yes, but
I heard the same thing in Italy, so that's why.
really?
Interesting.
Maybe I need an update. So, so as two Americans here, let's say we want to go to Europe. What's the first place we should go? Like, what's your recommendation?
Berlin.
Why?
Sure.
Why?
It's the tango capital in
Is it?
Europe. I'm telling
Really?
you.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because like
Where else?
I've
please?
heard London has a really good young scene and really good dancers.
uh-oh.
That's
Throwing
what
shade on
that's
London.
what I've heard.
Hmm?
Paris.
Paris?
Yeah, Paris is good as well. Yes.
Okay.
Also for urban keys.
Okay. So but okay, so you're saying Berlin, but let's say for someone who's super traditional, like is Berlin still, because I always hear about Berlin being a hotspot, but also it's a hotspot for like Nuevo.
I think the Nuevo fans might be disappointed. Rather.
Really?
Yeah, the scene is not as strong, let's say, as it used to be.
Interesting.
Yeah, so some milongas changed their locations, and some very good Nuevo leaders transferred to traditional.
Well, when you say Berlin's the capital, like how do you come to that conclusion? Is it because there's like a lot of milongas, or is this like well-attended milongas, or?
Yes, there are so many events, like in the like months from March till I would say November. A lot of them, I mean, all over the year you will find something, and there are so many different dancers on local milongas that you will feel is like a festival. We have also openers in the summer season, every day, and very
That's great.
beautiful location.
I met you last year, and I was wondering, like, I don't know if you knew anyone in LA last year. You just kind of showed up. To me, my thought was that you didn't know anyone in LA yet, and you decided to come to LA. And how did you navigate that? Like, how did going from I heard the dancing here is okay, good, whatever, but you're new, you're from out of town. You arrived in LA, or let's say you arrived in San Francisco, wherever you.
Yeah, we hear nightmare stories about from other people that visit here. Like, it's so mean. People are so rude. It's so cliquey.
Yeah. So, like, how do you feel about LA or other places in America? And what did you do to make the best of your experience?
For that trip last year, I started with milongas in San Francisco, and then again, I know no one there. But yeah, after milonga, you get some new friends, recommendations where to go, and then you show up on the next milonga, you meet the other people, and then I was mentioning, okay, if I go to LA, which places should I visit? And then I think they connected me also to some people in here again to get more recommendations. But I remember getting to hear the Monday Practica, and at that point I know no one from the people that are present here. But I felt welcomed.
I think we were doing the board game.
Yeah,
Yes.
We were just doing the concept of board games and tango at that point. That was hilarious.
Actually, you okay, so don't mean to throw you under the bus here, but it was a funny story. But I remember when we first met, and then after you got to know me, you told me that you thought I was so unfriendly, in the very beginning, and you're like, oh my God, you're like this, you're like this super nice guy who's like always going out trying to save people.
Your first impressions.
Because I remember because I don't know if I was in a bad, I might have been in a bad mood. I'm a very moody person, but I remember afterwards we got to know each other, you were surprised. You're like, oh my god, you're a totally different person. So,
Yeah, maybe you simply wanted to play the board games, and me coming with attitude of just dancing on the practica. It was weird to see guy mostly sitting at the table. And then I had assumption, okay, he's not interested in dancing, that maybe he's not even a good leader yet. He goes to practica, so it's like he would rather watch people a bit, play games a bit. So yeah, that's the story behind it.
Here's the other thing. You said you started in San Francisco and then you got referrals and everything. There's been many times that people go to a place and they get shut down, meaning that like they don't get a dance, they don't meet anybody. I think this is common not just in the United States, but maybe in Tango. So what did you do to make sure that you were able to meet people?
I would maybe add that I was not having a car here in California, so also going to Milonga, that was a tricky part. And then I would already reach out to the local community, like Facebook group for like San Francisco Bay Area Tango group. I would ask where to dance maybe, but also if someone is going from this part of Bay Area to San Francisco for this particular milonga, and I could maybe get with them, or we can share a taxi. And the community was friendly, like I got some responses, and then I found people that would take me there to a milonga, and then I already landed at the table of some other tango dancers, and make connections there. But I need to admit, I'm not the one that would start a conversation first.
Like
Sorry.
social butterfly.
Yeah, like I'm not really.
So, are there any red flags that you see? So we call it red flags for like, danger signs and everything. That's like, okay, time to leave, or this is not a good situation. Like in terms of like going to someplace new, what do you see what are signs that says, okay, this is bad, I need to get out of here, or let's say this is not a good milonga, or maybe this is whatever it is. Like what do you think are the main things people should look out for to know that, okay, time to pull the plug, let's get out of here, or let's find another place? Or...
I don't think Paulina's the type to leave, actually.
Yes.
I think she's the one to just stick it out regardless.
Really?
Yes.
She's stronger than most leaders.
That's so true. Like to assume that I will stay almost to the end. Like even in New York, despite like first two successful dancing nights, and then comes the third one when I thought, okay, I know some leaders now. I go there, and for 3 hours I dance to tandas, and this is unbelievable for me. I don't know, maybe I'm spoiled in Berlin, but that was way too little like dancing. But I would be a bit stubborn. I would stay there because like, okay, I paid $25. I will
Get
stay.
my money's worth.
I would stay those 3 more hours. Maybe not like till 2 a.m., but I would stay like 1 more hour to see if anything changes. And as I said, maybe I'm spoiled in terms of getting the cabaseos in Berlin. Then I'm also not very active in asking people or cabaseo in like invitations, or I only do mirada. And really, it's a lot when I already stand up from my chair and move around the dance floor. That's already a lot.
That's already a lot. I'm going out of my way.
Yeah.
Moving around.
So she's a camper, huh?
Yeah, I'm sitting right here. You come up to me and find me.
Yeah, but like, okay, so like when you go, so I have this weird theory. One of my theories is like, actually it's not necessarily mine, because a lot of people talk about like selecting a good place to sit so you can be seen. And before it used to be like when I first started, everyone would say, oh, you want to be right on next to the floor, tables next to the floor by the corner so everyone sees you. I don't think that's true anymore, but I want to hear your experience. Like as a woman coming into a milonga, what do you think, like what do you look for to situate yourself so that you can have the best night possible?
Yes, I mean, yeah, where you sit makes a difference during the night when no one knows you or not many people know you. And I think sitting next to exit of the dance floor is valuable. Sometimes there is this area next to the DJ's desk table where you'll find, okay, there are like top dancers, maybe teachers, or Argentinian corner somewhere there. So you like watch out if you're sitting there that you might actually not get luck.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's sometimes worth to move and change the seat during the night, noticing that you're not dancing much. But even I think in LA, there was one milonga I remember there were like 3 times more ladies than guys.
Yeah.
3 times. That's like almost every night.
That's kind of frequent.
Yeah, that was a tough one, but I think I danced like half of the tandas, so I felt lucky.
Yeah. So so I have like when I go to a new place and no one knows me, I kind of have a process. Like I have a game plan what I'm gonna do. What's your game plan? Like for me, like when I go, like for example, when I go to a place that no one knows me, the first thing I do is some other people will say, oh, sit and watch all the dancers to see who you want to dance with. What I do is I sit and see who everybody greets and who's like the popular person. So that's who I want to identify first. And that's just me, that's how I do things. But do you have a process when you go to a place where no one knows you?
Yeah, I would also watch people and dancing, and I will also identify the good followers because I want to know with who they dance. So that's.
Yeah. So how do you know? Like, do you look for like good lines? What do you look for? Who's a good follower? Like, what's your criteria?
I look at the footwork. Sorry to say.
You don't look at the embrace. You don't look at the smile.
My friend used to look at the faces.
Yeah,
The
I
faces
also
say
look
everything.
like on the face of the follower, but then it tells me about the leader, right?
Yeah. So, but do you look at the face of the leader to see if it's a good follower?
No, not that way.
No, I'm just curious because I look at the face of the followers to see who's a good leader, but I don't know. Like I've never looked at the face of the leader, so I'm kind of curious. Like,
yeah. I mean, I would also check if the leader is like making those mimics, if he's focusing.
The tango face?
I don't know if it's tango face, but I notice he is focusing too much or thinking too much. And I'm like, no, that might already bring the tension in the embrace, and I might not want it. But let's say if there's the quality in his in Caminata and in other in most of the figures, then I might still try such a person, but I'm looking for the relaxed faces.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to have you on our podcast, Paulina. It's been great, and want to know more about Paulina, maybe ask in the comments, or if you want more people on our show or more guests on our show, let us know what you think. Yeah, thanks again for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Left Foot, Right Foot. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and notification bell to keep up to us in our latest content.
Yeah, it really goes a long way. We've come a long way so far, and we really appreciate everyone's support in helping us grow this channel and all supporting our lifelong path of really getting social dancing out there and allowing other people to find their way to Argentine Tango.